Hello, hello. Dave from Bobman MTG. We are going to... Oh, I got so much... Just out in the rain, I apologize. Everything's wet. Like, walked back in, I was like, you know what? Oh, I didn't even turn on the light. Wait, give me a second. Bam! Turn on the light. I literally walked back in the door. I had to drop some eBay packages in the mail. And I was like, you know what? Let's just play. Let's just play some MTGO. Oh, God. Starting so quickly. Final reward, horror, synchronized strike. Wow. Sucks. I don't want to pass either of these. I don't want to force myself into any colors. Final reward's good card. This has been surprisingly ridiculous, but I'm not going to pick it first. In the right deck, it's insane, though. I don't think I'm missing out on too much. I would like this horror, but final reward's great. Unfortunately, we're passing some good black, good green cards. So I might want to stay out of either of those. Or cut them really hard. But we'll see. The next best card in the pack might have been the Cartouche of Strength. But it depends, you know. There's a million cards that people could want. Alright, we got Horror. We got Compulsory Rest. I think we're taking Compulsory Rest. This card's not great. Crash is fine in the right deck. I don't tend to play those decks very well, so I like to stay out of them. I'm seeing a lot of Evolving Wilds going around. Might be able to get one of those. Smooth out the Manos. Ooh, Ruthless Sniper. Card is pretty good. Throne of the God Pharaoh is also great in the right deck. And another one of these Compulsory Rests. Like, this card is such high power level. It just kills everything when you cycle. But you need to be in a cycling deck. Black is the right color to be in. Alternatively, we just take Compulsory Rest. I think this is something I want to try out. So I'm going to pick it up. It might be a mistake, but I think the card is great. Alright, we got a Seraph. Splendid Agony is fine. Seraph is a lot of mana. Cursed Minotaur is good too. I think I'm impressed enough with Splendid Agony to take it. Start cutting the -1/-1 counter cards. Nothing too exciting here. Floodwaters is probably the best card for me. Either that or the Shimmer Scale Drake, but 3/4 flying is pretty good. I think for what colors I'm looking at, I might take the Drake over Floodwaters. What am I doing? I want to open this. Whoops. Okay, didn't want to do that, sorry. Is this discard? Of course not. It is a late Sandworm, which might be a sign. Quarry Hauler also goes nice with the rest of the cards that I've got, so I'm just going to take that. It's a beater. None of these cards are too great. I guess the Stinging Shot is the closest to a card that I'd want. Better Supply Caravan. We'll go with this. Oops. Pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. Oh, God. I apologize for all the noise. What does this do? As long as you have 7 cards in your hand. Still not decided on which colors we want to be. This card is fine. New Perspective is really slow. But it does draw you 3 cards. Alright, I'm just going to take it. We don't see much for the type of deck we want to build. Shed Weakness might be fine in the right. Maybe just take Evolving Wilds since we're not sure. I'll take a second Evolving Wilds. River Serpent goes with the cycling. Sacred Excavation is actually harder to pick up than that. So what we want now is another Ruthless Sniper. We also want Edward Snowden crossed with James Run. I appreciate that. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Let's do a little Google search here and take a look. Edward Snowden, yeah, I can see that. James Ryan. Wait, which James Ryan? We're looking at this guy. Is this what I look like? Yeah, I guess that's fine. Illusory Wrappings is a decent removal spell. I don't want any of this. So we're still not sure where we want to be. I can see this coming in out of the sideboard. Can't see Mountain coming in. Oh, whatever. Vizier of Many Faces. You're not able to copy of any creature. That's pretty good. I do like this card. 4/3 Lifelinger. Soul Stinger is also fine. But this card's got to be good enough that I definitely want it. Turn this instant sorcery. Yeah, I mean, making a copy of anything and then being able to re-buy it seems really powerful, so I'm not passing that up. I still don't know what colors I want to be in right now. It's looking blue-black. I don't think this compulsory is going to make the cut. Definitely want more Ruthless Sniper type cards. But we're not committed to that either. Plague Belcher. Decimator Beetle. Now that, oh man, and a Stir the Sands. And Wander in Death for the right cycling deck. Now, this will cement us in green-black, but it's really powerful. Stir the Sand is also really powerful. And with the Sacred Excavation, it's even better. So, I think we're going to stick to our guns and take the Stir the Sands, even though I really wanted this Decimator Beetle. It's making me want to stick with... well, this card doesn't require... If I want to cycle it, this doesn't require any green mana. Wow. We got some payoff cards. Pitless Vizier is great in a cycling deck. What's your Magic Online rating? I'll have to look that up. I'm not 100% sure. Where even is that account? It's in there. Pull from Tomorrow. Jeez. Festering Mummy is also great if I get a Wander in Death, but Pull from Tomorrow. Jeez. Let's look at our game history, maybe? Limited rating is god-awful. Constructed rating is even worse. I like I'm flat, basically. My rating is just not there. And that's one of the problems is when I drafted Revolt, I got crushed all the time. Ooh, Shadowstorm Vizier, look at you. Wander in Death is also great, but this card is busted. Yeah, barely. I was positive. Before Aether Revolt came out, when I was doing mainly Kaladesh drafts, I was doing well. And then when Kaladesh came out, oh man, I was getting destroyed consistently. Consistently destroyed. It's like I could do no right no matter what. I didn't look at the pick order either when it came out, so I didn't give myself a chance, but I was drafting all the time, and I was just getting 0-3, 0-3, 0-3. Alright, Wasteland Scorpion looks like it goes good in our deck. What does this do? And it's not great. Sure, Twins, wow. Alright, we'll take the Scorpion. Definitely doesn't look like we're going to see any more of our really big payoff cards for this deck. But what we want now is some Wander in Deaths. Maybe it would be nice to see a Horror. Nothing for us here. I guess I'll take the River Serpent. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what's been helping in this limited, the Amonkhet limited, has been really studying the pick order. Wow, Anointed Procession. If that was worth something, I'd take it. Really studying. Fetch line. Oh, that's always nice. You get the last second. Honestly, Magic's a game of just trying not to let the variance really upset you. Because you could have the perfect deck, especially in Limited. You could have the perfect deck and just not draw anything, and it'll get you down. It'll get you down. But I will say the thing that I enjoy about it is, you know, the interesting interactions that you only see every once in a while. Alright, we're definitely going to take another Scorpion. Deck's shaping up. We do need some more payoff cards, but it's shaping up. Ooh, Pitless Vizier is a good payoff card. I'm going to turn to Thought Not Seared. Oh, God. Yeah, that's just... It's just frustrating. It's frustrating to, you know, spend so much time, like, trying to improve your limited rating. This is not ending up in the deck. I guess I'll take Pretty Swamp. This is probably not ending up in the deck. Another Stir the Sands. And I guess Cartouche is okay, but for our deck we want payoff cards, so yeah. I'll take another elimination. The Scorpions are great, but we haven't seen any Wonder and Death, so it is what it is. Yeah, when Eldrazi first came out and I was screwing around with Modern, not when they first came out, when Oath of the Gatewatch came out, and people were doing, we got a Festering Mummy, Trial of Knowledge is pretty sweet. Heckma Sentinels isn't like an amazing payoff card, but I think we need some lower curve stuff. Actually, I don't think we do. I think we want something like this. I don't have Wonder and Death. I have trouble passing up on this card. Wonder and Death. Makes me wish that I had picked this thing. We'll be confused with Bomb Man and assume that you'd be from London. No, I'm not too concerned about that. We have one Wonder and Death. I definitely want this guy. Unburden's not making this deck, but I will take it. Bomb Man. It seems like it, doesn't it? It gets me upset. Ooh, Censor. Nice. That's what we wanted. Something low cost that we can cycle. Pop this open for a second. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's a nice blue-black control deck, but this could be sweet. I just need... No, these are definitely just getting cycled for one. I don't have too many removal spells. Yeah, Excavation. Ooh, that's what we wanted. Ruthless Sniper, get in my deck. I have two Evolving Wilds, so I'm going to take the Forsake if I really need an effect to deal with an artifact or enchantment. Midwest? No, I'm actually from New York. Good old Staten Island, New York. Stone's Throw from Jersey. What do we got? Trial. New Perspectives. Stir the Sands. New York, New York. Yep. Right, right outside Manhattan. About one. Ooh, Heckma Sentinels. Want you. Now I need to cut something. We're definitely playing 16 lands with this setup. I don't know what I want to cut. Maybe I have too many of these. Staten Island, a pain in the ass, though. I don't really go into the city, into Manhattan, as often as I want to, but it's a pain in that it's time consuming. But the like depending on which part of the island you live in, just a ferry ride away, which is like a half-hour ferry ride, and it's free, so you can literally just get on the ferry if you live on the north shore of the island. Unfortunately, I live on the south shore of the island, so I can't do that as easily. It's like a 40-minute train ride to the ferry for me, and then half an hour on the ferry into the city. Do I want this scribe? Return an instant or sorcery card. I could see it being good with Wander in Death. I'm excited about this. I legitimately don't get excited about this very often. Yeah, I think one of these hieroglyphic eliminations is coming out. There's too many. Yeah, so for me, it's about 40 minutes to the ferry. And then from the ferry, a half an hour into Manhattan. But again, I don't go into the city very often. I actually worked in Jersey for a while, New Jersey, and I was like 2 minutes from the bridge, the outer bridge, to get to Jersey. So it was good for me. Alright, we're going to try this. I'm actually legitimately excited for this deck. And we get a match right away. This is weird. 1:30 in the morning and we get a match instantly. Something is wrong. I would love to play first. Depends on which part of the island. Where I am, it's fine, but it's getting worse. There's a lot of drug use. In fact, I think some Australian network made a, I think it was called Heroin Island. Some Australian, like, yeah, heroin use on Staten Island. It was a National Geographic, like, documentary or something about heroin use on Staten Island. It's kind of scary. But I will say that things are getting out of control with drug use. And that's not just us. It's actually the entire eastern coast of the United States is having some trouble with that, with hard drug use. Aw, come on. I built this deck around that card and you killed it immediately? What a jerk. Alright, so that's why Magma Spray is a good pick. But yeah, so there's some serious issues with drug use on Staten Island, but where I am on the South Shore, it's not that bad. I thought Staten Island was rich Italians who wanted. That's how it used to be. It is how it used to be. Rich Italians. But honestly, it's depending on the area, it's really not that bad. Now, because we have excavation, I am going to cycle this. Leaves us open to cycling Stir the Sands next turn and then excavating after that when we have more mana. Just to make a zombie. I'm not going to block with it, but it's not the worst thing I could be doing with my time. One's going to get in for 2. I'm going to take 2. We will stir. Cycle. The great thing about the cycling is your opponent can leave up all their mana and not be able to do anything about it. I'm not casting any spells. Go ahead, negate. Oh, wait, you can't negate. Nope. I wonder what counterspell he left up. Alright, we got a Scorpion. I'd rather cast the Scorpion than play Excavation. Yeah, it's bad. I'm gonna attack with the zombie, I think. I hate going to Brooklyn, I'll tell you that much. My family's originally from Brooklyn, and after Hurricane Sandy, the area that my family lived in got really, really devastated by Sandy. And the whole area just kind of fell apart. There's a lot of people that just, you know, they lost everything. They lost, you know, the apartments that they were living in. I will block this because of the excavation. and you know my uncle had to move out, and because his landlord wasn't Tony Bracco's now. I am on my mother's side. I'm Italian. On my father's side, I'm Irish and German and some other bullshit. 4, 5, 6. I think I'm gonna pull from tomorrow. So let's attack with our Zombo. Actually, if I wait more turns, I can pull for way more. If I excavate, I can't do much with that. I'm also gonna want to get Stir the Sands back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is tough because I kind of want to. I don't want to use this right now because I can get it for a ton of mana, but my opponent has some kind of counterspell because they were going to counter with Stir the Sands, so I almost want to fire it off while he's tapped out for 4. Now, you know what? I'm going to excavate. Get back these. And pass. Yeah, that's true. I know it's actually like disturbing. The Italian accent has become the New York Brooklyn I can't enunciate or use proper grammar accent. Whereas an actual an Italian accent from Italy actually is really nice. Cycling. Got another Scorpion. Final reward was a great draw. So we're going to ping in with our Zombo. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 mana. So if I cast Scorpion, I can't. So I'm going to leave up Reward and Scorpion. Opponent's definitely stuck on mana. I don't know what he's holding, but I'm hoping that he taps out because he's falling behind. Cycle Compelling Argument. Who cast this? He's definitely looking for lands. I feel like this is the card I care about least, so I'm actually going to go for Final Reward. Try to get him to counter it with whatever counterspell he's been holding. Or her, actually. I apologize. I think it's a woman. My bad. And then I'm going to cycle this Scorpion because I don't care about it. I'm going to attack with Zombie. We have 8 mana. What's the likelihood that if I leave up pull from tomorrow that he taps out? I'm going to go for that. Looks like our opponent still hasn't drawn their land. Yeah, they're getting desperate to where they have to cast every spell that they draw. So, I don't know what counterspell they're holding. But just in case, I'm going to leave up 1. Just in case it's like Censor or something. I gotta see what this is. Because they went to tap their mana to counter something. Alright. What are we discarding? I guess land. Alright, so now we have 7 cards, and our opponent has not 7 cards. We're going to attack with Zombie. Not expensive. Expensive, yes, but not overly expensive. The South Shore where I live isn't as bad, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not the worst. Like, okay, so a studio is probably like $1,200, and then like a 1-bedroom apartment, you're talking $1,500-$1,600, and then like a decent size, like. I was renting a house with my family a while back, and it was $1,800. Enigma Drake. That's too late. $1,800 a month for like a house. And then the mortgage on my house is $2,200 a month. I never prefer to rent. I mean, I went to school for finance, so it doesn't untap, so I'm just gonna let that through. I went to school for finance, so anytime that I have the opportunity to make money over just throwing money in the garbage, basically, I will choose make money. All right, since we have the Wander in Death, we're definitely cycling. And same situation for that, we're definitely cycling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we want to cast spells because we want to get down to 4 cards so that this new perspective works. We are going to attack. Now, I don't like the idea of renting. I much prefer to put my money into something that is going to give me some kind of return. I was looking to buy a house in New Jersey and actually move to New Jersey, and my rent was going to be 7 or more. Oh, 7 or more. You know, I should read cards sometimes. All right, well, to avoid discarding, I'm still not going to cast it. I'm going to cast Stir the Sands. And then I'm going to Wander in Death for Serpent and Scorpion, since I can cast Scorpion. And I'll pass the turn. That's why I'm here. Just to make me remember how stupid I am. Alright, so we've got 6 creatures. Opponent has 3. They got 5 cards in hand, and we won. That was pretty sweet. I like this deck. Since we don't have any answers... Oh, we do have 1 answer for flyers. I would like another one. I think that means I kind of want... Oh, we also have the Agony. Never mind. So actually, I think I'm going to run it back this way. If we lose this one, I might put in the wrappings. It is cool. I'm actually pretty happy with it. If we lose this one, I might put wrappings in. Depends on what we lose to. It has a lot of play to it. I wish that we didn't lose our sniper on turn 1. Alright, we got a mulligan. Mulligan. Alright, we can at least cast... We're looking for literally island. Nothing else. Island means we can cast our... Yeah, okay. I'm going to run this out even though it's probably about to die. What? It survived. What the hell? I did not expect that to happen. Are you killing it now? Oh, cycle. Okay. It's fine with me. It means I get to leave up Censor and attack for 1. My opponent plays a key creature. I will censor it if I can. If my opponent has mana up, I will cycle Illumination and use the ability. But we'll see what happens. Opponent taps their mana to cycle. Oh, you got it. Double Pursue Glory. I'm guessing they're playing... I'm guessing they're playing the creature... Ooh, another sniper. I will play a second sniper. I'm guessing they're playing that creature that shoots for each instant and sorcery in the graveyard. It's like a 4-mana Minotaur or something. But we've already seen the Enigma Drake, so we know kind of what they're up to. And they did not draw their 3rd land. Alright. It's not the way I want to win, but I'll take it. Game 1 was interactive, though. Game 2 just... You know, that's the variance. That's when you see, you know... Oh, I didn't draw my my sweet cool cards. What do we got? Slow hand, but we have cyclers, so I'm going to keep it. I don't mind having a slow hand with this deck because our early game interaction isn't much. We also don't know exactly what we're going to cycle into. I could easily cycle this Serpent into a 2-drop right away. Alright, unfortunately it might be Boros aggro. I might have some trouble. Vizier of the Many Faces. Sounds better area cleaner. Absolutely not. The northern part of Staten Island is getting redone. It's getting like a bunch of money thrown at it because it's so close to the ferry that they're trying to make it a tourist attraction. For anybody who goes into Manhattan, they sometimes just ride the ferry from Manhattan to see the Statue of Liberty, take pictures, from the ferry window. So the north part of Staten Island is where you get off the ferry. And there's a bunch of money being thrown at it from the city government to put in, attractions so that people come by. The north part of the island does have some nice stuff. It has the Staten Island Yankees, the minor league, I think, team. It has opponent is super aggro. Probably shouldn't have kept this slow hand, but I didn't expect Boros aggro, so it is what it is. So they're throwing a lot of money at it, but it's very crowded. There's a lot of poorer people on that side of the island. So I think there's improvements happening, but I think at the moment it's just not where I would want to live. I much prefer the South Shore, less crowded, less businesses. And it's just it's not an area where there's that much going on. Like, I live 2 blocks away from the police station. All right, this sniper is probably too late. I only have a 2-mana cycler, but if I cast it, it's just gonna die. So I'm gonna play the Scorpion, unfortunately, which is also probably going to die. That's not what I meant. I don't like the idea of being that close to it's not the poverty that's the issue. It's what ends up going around. What ends up going on in poor neighborhoods. Like, the police presence there is not friendly, which there's nothing I can do about. It's just how it is. Right, the illumination was actually a decent draw, so I can kill off a thing. If it offends you, I apologize, but it just happens to be a poor neighborhood. No, it's fine. People are allowed to discuss how they feel. I don't think there's any reason to censor people for being upset about the way that I communicate. But as somebody who lives in an area where there's a lot of drug use on Staten Island, I don't want to live in... Oh, man, I'm going to get wrecked by this. Let's see where he puts the -1 counter. There's a crime, drugs, etc. It's not the people themselves. It's what happens in those neighborhoods that's the problem. All right, he's killing off his cat, which is fine. Oh, I should have killed that while it was on the stack. That was dumb. Well, I am going to take a ridiculous amount of damage now. Alright, let's cycle this. Get rid of you. You don't want to be in better is reasonable. For a huge difference. Yes, I would like to pay mana. Yeah, taking 5. It's a shame. I'm going to 5. Honestly, the way that I communicate isn't necessarily going to always be completely reflective of what I'm trying to say. It's just that I'm not used to having people actually listen to what I'm saying, so I don't think about it as much. Now, I can make a Manticore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponent has 1 card in hand. If I make a Manticore, that's probably safer. Or I can final reward his Manticore. But I can't Vizier and leave up cycling, so I don't really want to do... I'm just worried about what they're going to cast. I'm at 5. It's dangerous. Alright, so I'm gonna Vizier. We're gonna make ourselves a Manticore. Guy, put -1 counter on you, and deal you. Wow, I never expected people to be arguing in my chat. Honestly, this is the first time there's been more than one person in my chat room actually communicating with me. So, I'm not gonna say I dislike it. I actually enjoy having people here arguing. It's nice. What I will say is north is over, rich part, south is the opposite. What I will say is I grew up without a lot of money. My mother grew up without a lot of money. It's just that the neighborhoods that we lived in were magnets for crime, for negative policing. I don't know how to really explain that. Just the way that the police presence was in the neighborhood wasn't exactly a positive influence on our living situation. And when I was growing up, I lived above a bar. I lived in an apartment above a bar, and it wasn't a nice area. So like, he gives us lifelink. He has 2 cards in hand though, so we could easily die out of nowhere. So it's not like I feel like poor people are inherently bad. It's just that the areas that you end up living in aren't places that you want to be. Yeah, we're gonna take another 1. So I'm not blocking that cat. I will trade off my Manticore for their Manticore because I can embalm mine. But when I embalm it, I don't know what I want it to be. Oh, what do you got? Am I going to get wrecked out of nowhere? I think I might. Ooh. So he makes it so my Manticore can't block, which means I have to block with my sniper on Manticore. That's a shame. I think they left the chat room anyway. That's what it is. Alright, so we're taking 1. Oh, we're taking 2, sorry. Down to 3. Block you. By my poor ruthless sniper. You never did anything to anybody. And our opponent's last card is another Insider, which sucks. Oh, man. Alright, so we're at 3. Our opponent has 2, 3, 4 power outside of the Manticore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I play Vizier and leave up cycling on this, I can probably stabilize if my opponent doesn't draw a good spell. But we're still pretty close to dead. We have to deal 21 points of damage out of somewhere, so this is going to be tough. If our opponent's next card is a creature, we're totally screwed. Opponent is sending in the troops. Uh-oh, that looks like a Pursue Glory. Not happy. Alright, we will block you, and we will block you. Okay. Is it a Pursue Glory? Please don't be a Pursue Glory. Yeah. Alright, Brute Strength makes this +3, so I die. Oh well. That was a fast one. So I think that the New Perspectives is actually too slow. We probably want something like Ancient Crab in the middle. And I might want the Mummy to trade with things over something higher cost that doesn't do much. No. I'm going to leave everything else as is. I'm just going to take out the New Perspectives because I think it's too slow. I would love to play first. Thank you for asking. Another slow hand, but again, we can't be too greedy with this deck. It doesn't have much early interaction. We're just going to cycle the Illumination and look for some interesting cards to play after that. If our opponent starts with an Insider, then yeah, of course they do. Cycle. We definitely need something fairly quickly. That's not something. Unfortunately, the way the deck is built, I just don't have much in the early game to do. So I can't just stick it out, or I can't like mulligan for a 2-drop. I can mulligan for a 3-drop, but even that is greedy. Alright, so we're going to take at least 2, possibly 3. Luckily, we have an instant speed creature on turn 4. We just really want something to cast right now. Alright, we got something we can cast. We'll keep our opponent from playing another creature if he has to burn a removal spell on this, or it'll eat it'll trade with one of these guys, which I'm fine with. That means next turn we get to cycle Stir the Sands. I like the artwork on some of these cards. They're pretty sweet, to be honest with you. They look pretty badass. I haven't really been too happy with the art on some of the cards. Oh, that's a nice sideboard card. Look at you. Luckily, it doesn't do much in the way of like impacting the board. If he attacks with it, I will gladly block it because this guy is trample. So if he exerts this, I'm definitely blocking the Watchers. Yeah, he's exerting it. So I'm definitely blocking Watchers. If he plays Resolve, then it is what it is. Nope. This gives me a reprieve from this guy. Fanbearer, really? Alright, since I have the 1-turn reprieve, I'm just going to play Pilla's Vizier. Our opponent's 4-drops, I guess, could be powerful, but we're not going to block. Then we can cycle Stir the Sands next turn. Or if we draw a cheaper cycler, we can play Heckma Sentinels. Tangler. I'm not blocking either way, so he has no incentive to actually tap my guy down. He's doing it anyway. Interesting. Just to get in for 3 points. I am impressed. No, just 2 points. Very interesting. Alright, come on, cheap cycler. Alright, so we got a 2-mana cycler, which means we can play this guy. Opponent has 2 cards in hand, but they have a decent battlefield. Still can't attack. And then if both of these survive, I get either cycling Stir the Sands or I could just cast Stir the Sands for 3 zombies. Depends on what we draw. We have 2 draw steps. What am I doing? Follow you. I apologize to anybody who's watching. I just like inherently follow everybody who's in the chat. Alright, Fanbearer is tapping down my Vizier. Combat. Guessing these guys are getting exerted. I'm still gonna block. Even Brute Strength doesn't really make me want to stop from blocking. Yeah, the artwork on some of these cards is just really cool. The mummies are really weird though. Okay. Okay. Block you. Cycle Scorpion. Let's see what our opponent's trick is, because I would think that they have some kind of trick. Yeah, Brute Strength. So we're going to take approximately 1 billion damage. 5 damage. Yeah, we're at 7. So I think we're going to have to actually hard cast the Stir the Sands, unfortunately. Cast you. Just to put some blockers out. Luckily, again, we have a 1-turn reprieve from these guys. I am going to attack here, though. But if our opponent draws Manticore, we're pretty much screwed, no matter what happens. Opponent passes. That's a good sign. Let's go to combat and see if our opponent taps down our Vizier. He's incentivized to. If he does, then we're probably just hard casting River Serpent just to put some more creatures on the battlefield. Yep. Cast you. And pass the turn. Alright, so we have 4 creatures, 3 if he taps this down. He's got potentially another big creature coming down this turn. Fanbear is really doing a number on us. We need to draw 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to draw something. If we don't draw like a decent spell, we're probably... Ooh. That is bad for us. Probably just dead here. When it taps this down, 5/3 trample. Wow, send it in everybody. Interesting. So we get a 6/4, 3/3. This looks like they have another giant trick, so we're probably dead. Alright, so we're blocking you, blocking you, blocking you. I think we have to put toughness in front of everything. If they have a trick, we're just completely dead no matter what. This way we take 2 damage if they don't have a trick. If they have another trick, that's only 5 damage. Just letting it happen. So I lose... No, maybe, yeah, I lose River Serpent and take 2. He's got 2 exerted creatures, so if he doesn't have a follow-up, he does have a follow-up. What do you got? Oh, Fling. Well, that was great. Alright, you got it. It's what it is. Alright, so that was way too aggressive for my deck. Way too aggressive. Those Boros aggro decks, like, they always do that kind of stuff, and my deck was not ready for that. If I had drawn, like, some early creatures, which, again, I didn't have much of, so I couldn't really just expect it to happen. But if I had drawn some early creatures, I stood a chance. Good luck, have fun. No black source. Unfortunately, our hand is sweet, so I really don't want to give it up. And since we're on the draw, I'm not going to give it up. Opponent starts off with a Fan Bearer. I am going to pass with intention of cycling Illumination, and then I will also cycle Censor if I need to. Cartouche of Strength. That is interesting. I've never seen anybody suit up a Fan Bearer before. Let's cycle this. But our opponent's deck looks hyper aggressive, so we might not actually have much of a shot here. Didn't draw a black source, but it is what it is. We'll pass, leave up Censor. If our opponent doesn't do anything for all of their mana, then we'll just cycle something. Yeah, we're definitely casting Censor so that we can avoid taking a billion more damage. But we need to draw a swamp like right now. If we draw a swamp, then that's not a swamp. So let us cycle you. Still not a swamp. That's unfortunate. Opponent's going to keep getting us for a good amount of damage every single turn until we draw a swamp. If we draw a swamp next turn, then we get to play swamp, play sniper, cycle death, kill initiate. But we're taking so much damage that it's going to be a little late. Swamp? Not a swamp, of course not. It's my own fault for keeping the hand. I think we're too far behind because we're going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 damage down to 6. Cycle. Yeah, we're dead. Wow. Okay. Should have mulliganed. You learn something new every day, I guess. Problem with illusory wrappings is it doesn't help against the cartouche at all. Yeah, they are sometimes very frustrating. It makes it so that if your opener is like a little stumbly, you just kind of completely lose. Alright, I got a sensor. I've got some cycling stuff, and I've got an excavation, so I'm going to keep this. But again, if your deck isn't like as slow as mine, like if I had some things to do earlier, I would be in better shape. But this deck needs me to like use the early turns just to cycle cards to find my powerful things. So I can't just put in a bunch of 1 and 2 drops. Alright, we are going to cast Sensor. And we have nothing to do. So like I need to play a bunch of these so that turns, you know, 1, 2, and 3, that's what I'm doing. I just got a 2, 3. I think Trial of Knowledge is the best thing I can do right now. Draw some cards, discard. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna discard that. Companion. And a Gust Walker. Gust Walker is pretty good. Take 2. If I Vizier, I can make myself one of these guys or one of these guys. Alternatively, I can final reward something. I think we're going to make I'm gonna make 2, 3. Oh, opponents have 5 mana, which is a scary turn for these decks. Sometimes they have that Regal Caracal, the cat making thing. You could also have something like Synchronized Strike, which I'm not as scared of. Exerting, swinging. Mighty Leap. Okay, so I guess we're taking a bunch of damage. Taking 8 damage down to 10. Nothing I can do about that. Guess I should have left up Final Reward, but he probably wouldn't have used the Mighty Leap. Untapping his land. So we're at 10. And our opponent plays Sparring Mummy, most likely to untap his Gust Walker. Yep. And they pass. Well. Now I definitely have to leave up Final Reward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't do anything. Which means we're probably about to die. Opponent has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 power. Goes to combat. Looks like he's sending in everyone. Block you. And we will final reward the mummy, I guess. Still taking 5 down to 5. Opponent follows up with Anointer Priest. That's not as scary. 7 mana. Can I excavate? Cards with cycling? It's not really that good. I can bring back Vizier and play Wasteland Scorpion. Vizier will become... Actually, it might be best becoming a Wasteland Scorpion. There's one card left. Actually, do I want to keep that? Wish I had a flyer. Alternatively, I think I need to get this Vizier. I want it to be Death Toucher though. So get Scorpion. We'll get Vizier. Oh no, it's 5 mana? I guess we can't do that. So then we'll just play Pitless Vizier. And then pass the turn. What is 2 cards and 1 billion mana? Another Kudu. Putting his counter on the Priest probably? Yep. Counter on Priest. Attacking. We'll gladly block with Scorpion. And opponent passes the turn. Alright, Sniper is fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As long as you have 7 or more cards in your hand. So if I play New Perspective, I draw 3 cards. I only go up to 5 mana. So that's not good enough. If I play Sniper, Excavation, then I have 2 mana to cycle with. So I can get these back. I can only cycle 1. Alright, so I think I have to play Excavation on both of the 1 mana cyclers? No, just these. And then we'll play Sniper, and then we'll pass. Uh-oh, what do you got? Cycling. Okay, don't care about that. I thought he was going to cast something. Alright, so if we get to untap, then I'm happy. But there's a good shot that we don't. Cartouche of Solidarity. Yeah. First strike doesn't really matter because I wasn't going to be able to block it anyway. When it goes to combat. Alright, we're going to cycle this. Target you. Draw my card. Okay, our opponent can get in for 3. If he has a trick, I'm dead. No trick. So now we're at 2. Still very close to being dead. Oketra. Oh god. That is not good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I play New Perspectives, I go up to 6 cards in hand, which means I still can't do that. I can cycle 2 cards for 1, 2, 3 mana and use 2 mana, and then I have 2 left over. And that'll let me kill some of his creatures. So I guess the best play is to pass because I only have 4 cards in my hand. Alternatively, I play land. It makes this take forever. But I think I need the mana. I need to hope that I get more cyclers out of this. But our opponent only has 1 card, so we could get lucky here. Alright, beginning of combat, we're going to cycle. Cycle. Trigger on EU. Pay 1. Yes. Kill 1 guy. Cycle Serpent. Nothing. Cycle you. Target EU, because this gives us the best shot of stopping Oketra, I guess. But you can pay 4 mana to use it. Okay. Pay 1. Yes. Cycle. Oh, dang. Okay. So, opponent passes the turn. Fine with me. You won't hear me argue with that. At least 3 other creatures. He did control 3 other creatures. Alright, so we play this, we go up to 6 cards. Again, we don't have enough. I need to stop playing lands is what I need to do. What is 1 card? If we bring back Vizier, we make our own Oketra. How good is that? No, we kind of need both cyclers to deal with the first strike flying guy. So I guess we're passing the turn. Pass the turn. Opponent is using Oketra to make a 1/1. You got it, buddy. And gaining a life. Alright, did you draw something? Beginning of combat. Let's start the party right now. Gotta get rid of the flyer. Yeah, we have to kill this flyer. Alright, let's see what our opponent does. We're at 2, so... I mean, luckily we have a blocker, an indestructible blocker for Oketra. Opponent's passing the turn again. 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Unfortunately, if we make an Oketra with this, we can't actually use its ability at all. If I play New Perspectives, I only have 2 mana to play with. But I think we need to do it. Uh-oh. Okay, let's make it a 1/1. Alright, so we live in the dream. We have 7 cards in our hand, which means we can cycle. Let's see what our opponent has. We can kill off 2 creatures. Beginning of combat, cycle for 0. Ability on you. Okay. Then we draw a card. Uh-oh. Cycle for 0. Trigger on you. Okay. Pay 1. Yes. Okay. Opponent passes the turn again. You have 8 cards in hand. 7 cards. So if we play this from our graveyard, we can make a second sniper, which seems good to me. Let our opponent go to combat. Attacks. I will block with Vizier. I think I'll cast Pull for 2 since we have so many dead cards. This doesn't matter. Fortunately, we're running out of cards in the deck, so we need to actually win somehow pretty soon. You have 8 cards in hand, so we need to play something, so we'll just play third sniper. Opponent uses Oketra. Play Wandering Death. Target Horror and River Serpent. Pay 3. Now we've got 8 cards in hand, so 2, 3, 4, 5. We should play our land. So now we should be able to win this game. Love you, JR. There's really, I can't think of any way that we lose right now. Let our opponent go to combat. Kill off like his entire board with these. Okay, we're going to block here. We're going to cycle Stir the Sands for 0. Target you. Target you. Ability on the stack, ability on the stack. Target, what are these targeting? Target you. Okay. Pay 1. Make a zombie. This deck is so stupid. Pay 1. Yes. Pay 1. Yes. Make our cycling. Okay, let that happen. We need to change mine. It's a deal. I don't see it happening. Alright, Hooded Brawler, not that scary. And using Oketra's ability, also not that scary. We have 4 cards left, so we need to actually win this game. So let's cycle you. We're going to do you twice. Use that, and then you once. Yes. 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 And cycle. Alright, so now we can play Scribe. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to attack with... It says flying. I'm going to attack with the Vizier. I think we're pretty well protected. Unfortunately, we only have 2 turns to win this game, so we have to put pressure on our opponent. So we're going to play Horror. And then pass the turn. Opponent has the opportunity to get us out of nowhere here if he can put 2 creatures on the battlefield and give this some sort of evasion. But we do have Splendid Agony to kill off something small. It's going to bring back that guy. Yep. He's back at 20. Using Oketra's ability. Beginning of combat, we are going to do this and this. Okay. No attacks. Opponent passes the turn. So, unfortunately, I think we lose because I've only got 1 card left in my deck. I have no way to cycle. Do I have any way to discard cards left in the deck? Where's my last card? I don't even know what my last card is. If we attack with everything, we still don't hit our opponent for 21. So maybe we just play out everything. Let's just attack. We have 3 blockers. I guess we leave back a sniper or something. These snipers are not. Yeah, we'll send in 1 sniper. I think we lose this game, though. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. What is that, 11? Land, go. What instant or sorcery can we get back that'll save us? Maybe an Aronis, that's fine. Opponent passes with 1,000,000 blockers. Draw our last card. Unfortunately, we can't use that. So let's see. We get back Splendid Agony. Does that help us? Actually, we get back Final Reward. And hope that our opponent doesn't have anything. I don't even know if that does it, though. If I pull for 0, I discard a card, which triggers all my abilities. So maybe I get back Pull from Tomorrow. Tapping 1. Yeah, but if I use Pull from Tomorrow for 0, I draw 0 cards. And then I discard a card, which triggers all of my abilities. Snipe you. Well, I can snipe 3 times, so we're going to snipe you 3 times. I don't know if it's enough, because my opponent still makes another creature. Yeah, it goes up to 12. Yes. 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 What's happening? Oh. Yeah, I think we still lose. Let's see. If I had gotten back Wander in Death, would that have done? No, it wouldn't have. Alright, attack with all creatures. I think we still lose. He has 4 blockers. He blocks the Horror, this guy, this guy, this guy. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he still wins. Yeah, 7's not 12. Is there anything I could have gotten back that was better? I don't think so. Opponent's at 5. Cycle! Bam! Put all my triggers on the stack. Yeah, I didn't draw my cards in the right order. Yes. Cycle, and I'm dead. Alright, that was awful. That game lasted way too long. I liked the way that the deck worked. It was so slow. It didn't have enough early game interaction. And I think with that one, if I had made a sniper earlier on, I would have been fine with the, where is he? With the Vizier of Many Faces, but yeah, I screwed up. I did fly too close to the sun. I enjoyed playing it though. I highly recommend this type of strategy. You want to pick up the snipers quick. You need cards like Pull from Tomorrow. New Perspectives isn't necessary. You probably want cards more like, let me see, what's the name of that card? Face of the Devoted? Yeah, you probably want cards more like Faith of the Devoted. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1 mana to drain 2 and you gain 2. I also probably made some mistakes with how I use the snipers. I probably should have gotten rid of the Oketra earlier on so that he couldn't keep making tokens, because I just kept killing the tokens, which didn't really put me ahead. It just kind of kept me on par, which wasn't good enough. That last turn, getting back the pull was probably the only way that I was going to trigger all my abilities. Alternatively, I could have gotten back Final Reward, killed one guy, but I don't think that would have been good enough. Was there anything else I could have gotten back? Like, I couldn't get back any cycling cards. If I got back Wander, it doesn't help me because I can't attack with... I had no haste creatures to attack with. And I couldn't cycle anything because otherwise I automatically lose. So, other than that, I guess I get back Sacred Excavation, and nothing has cycling that would help me win that game from that point. Because even if I excavate Wander and Death, the only thing that I had that I could get back was the same scribe, which you can't use because it doesn't have haste. So I think that was the closest I was going to get to winning that game, was getting back Pull from Tomorrow, and then somehow hoping all of my triggers resolved in a way that beat my opponent, but that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I think that was definitely the main issue, was I didn't get rid of my opponent's Oketra right away with the sniper triggers. I should have done that right away. But it is what it is, you know. It was a fun deck. I enjoyed it. I think the snipers are a lot of fun, especially when you have a lot of interaction with the cycling cards. And then having new perspectives in the deck just made it such a blast in that last match. Like, it was just so rude to play that way, but I definitely think that this was a good draft deck. But, you know, it was fun. That's all I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to enter another draft. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I apologize for anybody who I offended with the earlier conversation that we were having about poverty, but I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just not used to having an audience. But thanks, Weng Chung 4, for your conversation. Thanks for everybody else who stopped by, and have a good night.